I'd like to call to order the City of Douglasville City Council meetings for tonight, which is Monday, November the 2nd. Our invocation will be done by Reverend Andrew Dickinson of First Presbyterian Church of Douglasville. After that, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation. Welcome, Pastor Dickinson.
Thank you, Mayor. Please join me in a word of prayer as you feel able. Gracious God, we thank you for the gift of this day, for the beauty of this season, for every sign of your grace and goodness around us. We thank you also for the ability to make meaningful contributions to the welfare of our community, whether through administrative office or in other ways as concerned citizens. We pray for this evening's proceedings, for Mayor Robinson, and for our city councillors who serve with her. We thank you for the time, the energy, thoughtfulness, and care they give the work that they do on our behalf. We pray that you would be with them and guide them in the work that they do for our city. We recognize the work of the various committees that have been convened to ensure that all sorts of areas ranging from economic development to housing to technology, public improvement, and various others are managed effectively for the health, strength, and flourishing of the citizens of our city. We thank you for the hard work and dedication of our city staff and ask that you help, bless, and guide them in the work that they do. We pray for unity as we work toward the goal of building a community where all people have the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. While it may be acknowledged that there may be different approaches to how we reach this goal, and in greater measure, we ask for your help to bear with each other and to hope for each other as we work together toward this end. Finally, we ask that you renew us with your presence, empower us with your goodness, fill us with your hope. We ask these things in your holy name, confident of your goodness and love. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for the pledge, and thank you, Pastor Dickinson, for the invocation. Please tell Pastor Harper that we extend our greetings and we're praying for him during the loss of his father. Thank you so much, Reverend. I'd like to go over our protocol for this evening, and then we'll get right into our agenda. I'd like to welcome you to the City of Douglasville's regular voting meeting. This is a City Council regular agenda items where official action will be taken tonight. Bless you, Coach. That were discussed last Thursday at our legislative work session. If the business you are here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from Citizens and Delegates section for you to discuss your business. Just a few protocol issues, and then we'll get right into the meeting. I would ask that you would please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You'll receive a warning from the chair. If you deviate from this requirement for a second time, the deviation, we will ask that you will cease from speaking in the microphone. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to the speakers. Speak from the audience, cheer, or carry on a conversation with others in the audience, or be disruptive at any time. Unless we say it's time to clap, then you can clap at that time. I remind you that we're only required to accept public comments on zoning matters. We are not required to accept public comments on any other matters before this body making our decision. As the chair of this meeting, the agenda items will be taken up with that person at that time. If you have a cell phone or electronic device, we'll ask that you please put those in silent mode or turn those off during the meeting so they will not be disruptive. And the agenda items will be handled as the following. The committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then the person representing that agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions to help us make our decisions. There is a time limit for 20 minutes for those in favor of the item, 20 minutes for those in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. If you have a group of more than 5 or 10, then you can split the time up, but the totality, it's 20 minutes per side. When you approach the bench, please give us your name and address for the record, and there should have, if you wanted to talk, there's a card that you should have filled out on the desk, and you can hand that card to our city manager. I think it's Assistant City Manager, Ms. Candace, and she will have that to put in the record. Each person has one opportunity to speak. This meeting is not a question and answer format. We're just here to receive your information, deliberate, and make a decision. If you have any printed material, we ask that you would please give that printed material to our Assistant City Clerk, and she will disseminate it to us. We do not have Assistant City Manager. Do we have anyone online? Do I need to read about okay, so we don't have to virtual. But the meetings are being taped and simultaneously can be seen. All right, so now we'll do announcements and presentations, and I will do the items, so just turn them around a little bit, the way they're printed on the screen. I'm going to change the order. So we'll do a presentation of myself for proclamation to honor Miss Elaine Barge for her proactive volunteerism in the community and service to the City of Douglasville. If there's someone here to represent the family, if you would come forward at this time. And as they're coming, we're always excited about this part of our council meetings when we can honor people in our community. It's such a blessing to have you all here. Yes, ma'am, if you can come in front of the microphone, and then I'll read the proclamation, and myself and council members will come around and we'll present it to you. And after I've read the proclamation, if you'd like to say anything, you're certainly welcome to do that in the microphone. Welcome. Office of the Mayor, Rochelle Robinson. Proclamation to honor Miss Elaine Barge. Whereas Miss Elaine Barge was born on July 31st, 1941 in Douglasville, Georgia, and whereas Elaine was a proud mother of 4 children, 13 grandchildren, 15 great-grandchildren, and 2 great-great-grandchildren. And she was a faithful member of St. James AME Church since childhood, where she served as a member of the usher board and helped with the community food bank, and worked with the Douglasville Police Department with community outreach programs by going out within the community to work towards the common good of the community. And whereas Miss Elaine was an ardent supporter of the local middle school and high school basketball teams, she could often be found at Douglas County High School during basketball season, cheering on the youth of our community. And whereas after 35 years of service at Riverside Manufacturing Company, she retired, and her love for children, sports, and community led her to take a position as a food services assistant in the Douglas County school system, where she was affectionately known as Granny or Grandma to everyone. And whereas Miss Elaine Barge never met a stranger, she loved to talk and laugh with all people. Douglasville and Douglas County has lost a wonderful community member and friend that will live in our hearts and minds forever. Now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, and on behalf of the Douglasville City Council and the citizens of the city, do hereby recognize Miss Elaine Barge's esteemed service and contributions to the City of Douglasville and give thanks for a life well lived. So proclaimed this 2nd day of November, 2020. Let's give the family a hand and Ms. Barges. Would you all want to introduce yourselves, and then who's the spokesperson?
Yes,
Okay, let the men do it.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It was beautifully stated, well read.
Yes, sir.
But you left one thing out.
What did I leave out? Oh, my goodness.
Our trips to Kroger.
What'd you say?
And on Wednesdays.
Okay, what the
used to be
seniors.
Senior Day.
Yes, sir.
But after they canceled the Senior Day, and I would take her in there, I would spend probably 2, 3, 4 hours to get 1 or 2 items. Because the majority of her time is, like you say, she never met a stranger.
Aww.
And oh my God, that's why I learned patience.
Yes, sir.
Because as she grew older, it required more patience to stand there and watch her socialize with everybody in the store.
Yes,
Like
that
to
was my
thank you
friend too.
On behalf of my two sisters,
Yes, sir.
we'd just like to thank the city of Douglasville for recognizing the life that she lived.
Yes, sir. She was full of life, lots of fun. Always on the plaza for events, the ice cream social, chili cook-off, Wednesday wind down. You can see her smiling face, and she, she'll fuss at you too now.
Oh, yeah.
She'll fuss at you. Yes, sir. Daughters, you want to say anything?
I guess
You
I
give
will.
us your name and address.
First of all, Madam Mayor, thank you so much for those kind words, and Councilman Davis and Dr. Burdanley. We love you. We love you.
Those
we
were
love
the spearheaders.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were coming. They were like, you have to honor
you.
him.
Sam's been a part of the family since before I was born. So,
Yes, ma'am.
but we definitely thank you, and to everyone on the council, and everybody's just been so great to our family. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's please give them a hand, and council members will come around and take a picture. I know.
Madam Mayor,
Oh, I apologize. We can open the floor for comments while we're preparing to take our photos. Yes, sir, Councilman Davis. I didn't mean to leave you out.
I want to thank Miss Elaine for my career in music. And when I was playing in that rock and roll band, and I look up and I see her coming through the venue, and she been with me a long time, and I want to thank her for her and her family starting the Wednesday Wind Down when I didn't have but 4 or 5 out there, and that was her and her family, Charles Dobbs and Linda, and then it went to thousands. So they still recognize Miss Elaine and her family.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's sweet. Did she get you saved, Councilman? We're going to keep it moving.
Ma'am?
Well, you said the rock and roll band. Councilmember Burdanley.
Yeah.
I want to say thanks to this family, and your mom definitely was awesome. Actually, Chief Gary Sparks spoke at our homegoing, and he spoke about how active she was at the community police center on Hollis Street. And people make so many excuses about not being able to be here or there, but I can just say for your mom and Yvette, you drove your mom everywhere. Great support. And even when Miss Elaine didn't feel good and she had oxygen, she always made meetings, and she always made community meetings. So that just says a lot about her character and how much she loved the city of Douglasville. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So, council members, if you don't mind, please come around and we'll take a photo with the family. Thank you so much. So we've gone from a local hero to a national hero. So now I am going to read a proclamation and present a key to the city. Office of the Mayor, Rochelle Robinson Proclamation, whereas Captain Remoshay Nelson, Bisha, that's what we call her, right, is a member of the United States Air Force Thunderbirds and serves as the Public Affairs Officer for the Demonstration Squadron. And whereas Captain Nelson graduated from Douglas County High School, Tigers, and went on to graduate from the Howard University in Washington, D.C., where she majored in speech communications and earned her commission in 2011 through Air Force ROTC. And whereas at Howard University, Captain Nelson was a member of the Alpha chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, was a campus and community leader, and served abroad in North Africa and Europe. And whereas during her esteemed Air Force career, Captain Nelson led public affairs teams abroad in Turkey, Botswana, and other European countries. And whereas to show support of frontline workers during the fight of COVID-19 pandemic, Captain Nelson became the first African-American female officer of the elite Air Force demonstration team, the Thunderbirds, as they flew over Atlanta earlier this year. And now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, on behalf of the Douglasville City Council and citizens of the city, do hereby honor and commend United States Air Force Captain Nelson on her incredible achievement and service to the United States and to the Douglasville community. Her leadership is a shining example of what everyone should aspire to. We are proud of Captain Nelson and look forward to her very bright future. So proclaimed this second day of November 2020. Captain Nelson, please come forward. Yay, let's give her a hand. Wow, wow. So if you would like to say anything, we're so very proud of you. I was telling you that I have 3 tigers in my household. My 3 children graduated from Douglas County High School. We're just so very proud of you. Just reaching for the sky, aiming high, as the Air Force does. You know, I'm Army, so I'm Army strong. As city managers and Navy, so female veterans supporting you and Divine Nine. Just so excited to have you, and we're proud of you being from Douglasville, Douglas County. I know Coach AJ is here, the infamous Coach AJ. You don't want to get her in biology.
All right.
Chemistry. And then you have Miss Fifi Handies, who's here representing the community from Fayette County, Fayetteville, who was awarded. She was saying that she just flew with you last week
Yes.
For real in the airplane. I mean, because she received an accolades from a local community for being a community leader for a literacy program. Page Turners Make Great Learners. So I said all that, so it's now your turn to talk, and we'll come around and take a picture with you.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm extremely humbled, honestly, for this proclamation and the key to the city. Thank you so much, Mayor Robinson, for having me and for recognizing me, and also for who you are and what you've done, your service to our country and your leadership in this city. It's leaders like you who are present and have a presence who inspire young girls like me in this city. So thank you so much for all that you do and for this event today. I really appreciate it. Your staff has been absolutely amazing. Maria has been great, and I really appreciate her too. So thank you, and thank you to your staff for what you do for the city. This is an amazing city. I shared with your communications team earlier. We are, as Thunderbirds, when we first come into the squadron, they give us these nice show suits that are fitted to your body. They give you a lot of different equipment. One is including our show fly, and then we have a brochure where we put our name and where we're from, and everyone's like, oh, okay, you're from Atlanta, right? I said, no, I'm from Douglasville, Georgia, and I'm very proud of it. So I want you to put Douglasville in the brochure, and I want it on my bag everywhere I go. And so I make sure that I let people know about this amazing city where I grew up. A lot of it definitely has to do with all of the people who are here to support me.
Yes,
I really appreciate my parents who have been amazing. It's my stepdad that kind of put the seed in my head and told me about his time in the Navy that showed me what a different life was like if I joined the military. It was my mom who watered that seed and made sure I was involved in sports. Anything that I wanted to do, she was my biggest cheerleader. Her as well as my 2 brothers. And my little brother is still one of my biggest cheerleaders today and one of my best friends. So I not only thank my family, but I thank the village in which Douglasville gives you, because it really takes a village to raise an individual. And I felt that way coming up in Douglasville from my elementary school to my middle school to high school, from East Side to Stewart. to Douglas County. I have teachers here, Miss AJ, Miss Davis stopped by from my middle school. They all really just pushed me really hard to be the best that I could be. And I think it speaks volumes to the type of people that are in our education system here and our leadership roles in Douglasville. So I really appreciate this honor, and I appreciate everyone who's here to support me and all that you do. So thank you so, so much. It's been a complete honor, and it's not really a representation of myself, but truly the men and women the team represent, and that's the over 600,000 airmen that make up our Air Force. And so they are working extremely hard every day, keeping our nation safe. And so it's really an honor to represent them as well today. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Just give her another hand. I know. Captain Nelson, you're what dreams are made of. I'm going to read this key, and then we'll come around and present the key to you and the proclamation. Key to the city, presented to Captain Remoshay Nelson, Douglasville native and graduate of Douglas County High School. Captain Nelson, the first African-American female Thunderbird within the United States Air Force, who has demonstrated outstanding leadership and stellar accomplishments, even this day, by Mayor Rochelle Robinson, City of Douglasville. God bless you. Let's come around and take pictures. You can have your mom and everyone come up. Have to make 2 rows, maybe 3. Such a great celebration. I apologize, council members, I didn't open the floor for you all to give any comments. I know we have probably 1, 2, Councilman Adams isn't here, graduates from Douglas County High School, so but that's exciting. So we have does anyone want to say anything else? Okay, we have and I'm just going to take a point of personal privilege to do an announcement that is not on the agenda. And it is for our city manager. If you don't mind coming to the microphone, please, city manager. I know, somebody's gonna get in trouble. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton. We know that she is stellar. Earlier, probably a week or so ago, she was elected and installed in as the Georgia City County Managers Association president. So that's over the entire state of Georgia for the city and county managers. And so we just wanted to recognize you and have you tell us a little bit about what this entails of you being the president. We are so very, very proud of you, city manager. And tell us how long you've been the city manager and your career in the city of Douglasville. You can talk about the Rattlers if you want to. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you, but you're right. Some folks are in trouble because I thought I could sneak that one by.
No, you can't sneak.
But yes, ma'am, I was appointed a city manager in 2015. I started my career here in 2003, so I've had the privilege of being able to be promoted in the city, so it's been definitely a great career. The Georgia City County Managers Association is a state association that is made up of city and county managers, so that's 538 cities in Georgia and 159 counties. And so the overwhelming majority of city managers and county managers are part of that association, so I will be serving for the next 2 years as the president of that association, where we advocate for professional leadership in local government. It's a great organization. It's one of those things that I really have to acknowledge Bill Osborne. About 7 years ago, he and I went to a meeting, and he said, you're going to be president of that association. And I said, okay. He said, no, you will. And so, and to his credit, I became president of the association just with the support of all of the city county managers in the state, of course, staff. It's a great organization that, again, advocates for professional leadership. Hopefully, as I continue to try to do in every aspect that I serve, whether it's here or out in the state or internationally, serve the city well. I love the comment about Douglasville because everywhere I go, I represent the city of Douglasville, and hopefully bring back every ounce of privilege and knowledge and opportunity so we can thrive here and make certain that we're improving the quality of life with our citizens. So I appreciate the opportunity. You all know I don't like necessarily talking about myself, but I do appreciate the opportunity. It's definitely a privilege, so thank you.
Thank you so much, City Manager. Let's give her a hand. I don't have a proclamation, but I have a little gift, so we'll come around. Take a picture.
I'm sure. Vouch for you.
I know.
All I can say is when I first started working with the city manager about 15 years ago, I said at the time I knew she had it in her. Seeing her do.
Yes, sir.
So.
She's stellar, and everyone else recognizes it too outside of Douglasville, so that's a blessing. All right, so now we'll move on. I have the minutes of the legislative work session of October the 15th, 2020, and the regular meeting of October 19th, 2020. I open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes.
So move.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to approve the minutes of the legislative work session of October 15th and regular meeting of October the 19th. Do we see any corrections or comments as it relates to the minutes from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. We'll move on now to the consent agenda. Open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved to open the floor for a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved in second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we see any questions or comments? Any further discussion as relates to the consent agenda from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to item number 7, which is Economic Development Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on then to item number 8, which is Finance Committee. The Vice Chair of Finance, I didn't get it before. The Vice Chair is Councilman Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in finance.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. We'll move on to Housing and Community Affairs Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Business tonight in personnel and organization.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Committee. The Vice Chair is Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Improvement and Beautification Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business this evening.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in recreation, culture, and tourism.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At this time, there's no business under the Technology Committee.
Thank you, sir. And Transportation Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any other business to come before council tonight from council members? No? That was fast. Updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson. Thank you, Mr. Dotson. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. I think that's Major Davison representing the police department. Do you have any business, sir?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Major Davison. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton.
No business, Madam Mayor. Just thanks again for always supporting. Thank you all.
You're welcome. Very proud of you. Do we have any staff reports, city manager?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay. Comments from citizens and delegates. If you've sustained the meeting and you'd like to address us, please come before the podium. Give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business that's germane to the city of Douglasville or potential business. Okay. We don't have any. Not seeing any other business, then this meeting is adjourned. Mr. Gregg, can I see you for a second?